Defrag. Defragmentation. Time for a defrag. Time for a defrag. Hey, I'm Ray of Sunshining. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. And of course I have secret messages too. I've told you secrets in my previous videos too. And I'm going to tell you a secret right now. It's been a long time for me since I've done a defrag. When I first started making these videos, and I show you the whole progression. I show you the whole, and I don't know why that is. Path that I'm on, because it's a metaphor for life. That's what program is about. Life. That's what my program is about. But anyway, but I'm thinking now maybe it's because of all the increased capability, increased volume, and speed, and increased memory compared to even a decade ago. Once in a while, you may have noticed a little bit of a transformation in my program, and that's kind of like the idea of the whole thing. I talk about that in every single one of my videos, so no, I'm not going to talk about it here right now. A decade ago, I was doing lots of defrags. With defragmentation, and I don't really know exactly how it works, but I know that the whole idea was designed. You will see another one of my videos, and I'll repeat lots of things over designed to, get things sailing smooth again. So when the computer got a little clogged up, but things that are interesting. But you know what? Sometimes I have this format, and we're changing right now. We're at the top. With things you click on defrag, all the files would pop up, and so we're trailing off some of the early M attributes. They'd be all different colors. Things would be jumping around. They'd be eliminated. Duplicates would disappear. Files would be put back together, and it's all in order. And it's nice. This would go on for forever. And we're acquiring new attributes to defragmentize, defragment the files. And that's what my whole presentation depicts. It depicts that progression. So that things will be running smoothly again. Sometimes. And I film it. I have it all on film. That's the way life is. Sometimes life's a defrag. Buried treasure hidden for you, along with treasure, hidden messages, miracle messages. Because we go through difficulty, we go through hard times. That's the reason you're here. Because you can relate to what I'm talking about. Those times, that time in your life when there was not even so much as a pinpoint of light at the end of the tunnel. Any kind of message that your heart, desires, your heart. But we learn from those experiences. And we grow from those experiences. We heal through those experiences. And that's what my whole presentation is about. So my whole video presentation shows a defrag. But you know what comes along with a defragmentation? As you may know, my whole system is based on the ABCs. There's nothing complicated about it. And as we go, we fall apart. We pick up the pieces as human beings. It's what we do. We put the pieces back together. We get back on track. Sometimes it takes a while. One section to another. There are transitions. There are transformations. There are changes. Sometimes it takes a lot of defragmentation. But that's all part of the process of creating the uniqueness of you. That's what I show in my entire video presentation. And I talk a lot about some of those defrag times in my life to try to put things into perspective. So you can learn some things about. Do you ever say something like, I want to experience all. I want to experience all that life has to experience me, and learn some things about you. A perspective. And maybe discover, because as you know, what does that mean? That doesn't mean butterflies and roses all the time. Life isn't always butterflies and roses. Life is sometimes about difficulty and challenges and overcoming. And that's what we do as a species. As you know, those deep, deep wounds take a long, long time to heal. And I want to say, hip, hip, hooray for you. Hip, hip, hooray for you that you're still with me. The other thing I hip, hip, hooray about, usually at the beginning of every month, is the Moon Omens monthly horoscope. A couple of days ago, I didn't get to the second of the month, but Moon Omens, you can find them here on as a species, as a human, as human beingness, as human kindness. We rise above, we figure it out, we persevere. They have a monthly horoscope, which is just incredible, and I listen to several of the placements. And even though it doesn't always look like it, doesn't always feel like it, we do our best to be our best. They are incredibly inspiring, and you know how I feel inspiration, right? That's why I'm sending you there. Be inspired. You're going to love it. That's the progression that I show in my whole video presentation.
I have lots of things to be hip hooraying about. Today I'm hip hipping a RaG, hip hipping a RaG, hooraying about my new kimono. Yesterday, the last recording I did, I was wearing a pink shirt, thinking because I've been thinking about using these kimonos that I bought many months ago, and I haven't used some of them yet. I used one of them a couple of recordings ago. With it had birds on it. That was my flying high video. This one, when I looked at this shirt, this combination right with this packing shirt. And this, I think it's Japanese kimono. You stay right there. I'll just model the whole thing for you. You get an idea what it's like.
Stumble and fall, and pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, embrace ourselves, embrace life.
It's just a great combination with this outfit.
And rise up. That's what you're here for, to vibe up.
Oh, I want to tell you about why I named this video One Joint. Because the name really is One Joint Effort, as I may have told you. But I have all those little icon things with the clouds and the heart up in the clouds, bird, and all those titles. And those little titles, I felt that One Joint Effort was a little bit extensive. And those titles,
that's what we came here for, to experience all that life has to offer. To live, to feel, for learning loving, and loving living.
I like them to be quick and catchy, and so I thought that One Joint, you stew. That means you, as in capital Y-O-U. Delighted. I'm that you're here with me today. Did somebody send you this video on a silver platter? That's good news. They catch it on. I repeat that. They catch it on. In a lot of my other videos. And there's a reason for it. It'd be effective to get somebody to click on it. See how that worked? Here you are. For it. I repeat a lot of things. I repeat them in different ways. A lot of my other videos. It doesn't get too boring. But eventually, sometimes, hoping that the message will finally sink in. And so if somebody sent you this video, that's great news. I'm in my sanctuary again. I have a number of videos that I have broadcast from my sanctuary, especially a lot of my earlier videos.
And whether you think you got what it takes,
this particular section was in there a couple of times with Peace on Earth tapestry.
Or you think you don't.
So, there's a whole spectrum of emotions that range from the high highs to the low lows. And it's not like you can read it in a book, figure out what the high highs are and the low lows are. You can get an idea. But it's like childbirth. Somebody can tell you, somebody can describe it to you. They can say,
you're probably right.
Shaking the world is not necessarily an easy task. It's a simple task. But it's a simple concept, and it's a matter of believing. The reason that we don't have a world of peace, the reason that we don't have a world of reason we don't have everyone treating everyone like they're our brothers and sisters, is because we don't believe it's possible. If you don't believe something is possible, it's not possible.
And it's like intense, and they can tell you all that, but it's not the same as actually giving birth.
So, and that's what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to elevate. I'm here to be the elevator of our thoughts, the elevator of our consciousness.
Lighter.
I'm getting lighter.
That's what I've decided.
Requires being a little bit light.
I mean, it's obvious I'm getting lighter, right?
The one thing that I think you probably so far are appreciating about my channel.
Like some of those ray of sunshines back there, pretty tight. You might empathize with it. Tight. All of those ray of sunshines is what added up to this ray of sunshine. And so that'll be happening. I'll be getting lighter. But you're never going to know the actual experience
unless
of it.
You experience it.
And whether you think you got what it takes or you think you don't, you're probably right.
And, right around the bend.
Whether you think you got what it takes or you think you don't, you're probably right.
So I think
it's the same thing.
I'm going to take advantage of this lightening up phase.
All of our
and enjoy
this whole journey.
I enjoy
with all of our life lessons.
Phase, actually.
So the low lows, which is the space from which the river of tears flows, is what I want to talk about a little bit today.
My channel is that, well, besides telling the truth, I make sense. And I don't know about you, but I like things that make sense. And if you're finding that this makes sense, if you resonate with what I'm saying, then you want to share this video with others, so we can all be on the same page and we can all elevate.
Actually, I was realizing that every single presentation is what added up to those ray of sunshine. Every single phase, every single ray of sunshine back there is the best ray of sunshine being portrayed at that particular time. Just like I'm the best ray of sunshine that I can be at this intense moment as we're approaching I-section. Today is for celebrating the uniqueness of you. It doesn't have to be your birthday. You can celebrate the uniqueness of you. It's a good day to celebrate the uniqueness of you every day. Like in a hot air balloon. For the hot air to keep going up, we have to either get rid of some weight or increase the heat, right? So the way to get rid of the weight is to let something go that no longer serves. There's so many stories in all those before videos about letting things go. Here's our chance to unite together. Here's our chance to create the world of our dreams. To deliberately create the world and just having fun in the process. We keep going higher by increasing the vibration. That's what this video series is all about. Hey, did somebody send you this video? You can learn from their brilliance. That's what we came here for. To experience all that life has to offer. And whether you think you got what it takes or you think you don't, you're probably right. And whether you think you got what it takes or you think you don't, you're probably right. As we would choose to design it is playtime. I had create you. It had like 1 or 2 views. They all had at least 1 view because I viewed it, I liked it, and so some had 2 views, some had views. But the way it happened is 1 person at a time, and that catapulted, that mushroom to clumps of people, groups of people, piles of people, to a point where it's out of control. Oh, here we are, back to sunflowers again. So anyway, if we can believe that we could alleviate conditions for, let's say, 1 homeless person, let's say 1 person at a time. So it's the same kind of process for alleviating homelessness. Let's say that there might be 1 less homeless person on this planet tonight, and hunger in the world. 1 person at a time, or 1 less person that goes to bed hungry. If we can believe that that's possible for 1 person, we can believe that's possible for every person on the planet that's in that situation. If you can believe that we can do this, if we can believe that we could alleviate conditions for, let's say, 1 homeless person, because it's just a matter of dreaming to this believing, doing over and over and over, 1 person at a time. It's just a matter of dreaming, believing, doing over and over and over, 1 person at a time.